Welcome back to Autism Live on this special show where we're rocking the spectrum around the world with We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gyms and the CEO and owner and mastermind behind that, Dina Kimmel. And we've been traveling around, going to different places, and now we're going to go to Buffalo, New York with Jessica Sills. And Jessica doesn't own one, she owns two We Rock the Spectrum gyms, so we're very excited to talk to her. Jessica, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I recognize that sound because I'm originally from upstate New York, and so I can hear it in your voice.
Right,
we heard
but
Long Island,
but kind of Canadian. It's like a Canadian.
It's a flat A, the flat A. My roommate in college was from Rochester, so so I feel like I'm at home today. This is amazing. So we're thrilled to have you here with us, and one wasn't enough for you. So I got to hear why it had to be two gyms.
Oh, my husband and I were just so passionate about providing a resource like this to the community of Western New York for the longest time. And when we came across We Rock the Spectrum, we just felt like it was the perfect match for us and for what we wanted to bring to this area. And we opened our first location south of Buffalo, and every weekend we had families driving out to us from at least an hour away, if not more, from the North Towns area, and begging us every weekend, please bring one of these to the North Towns area. So we always knew that it was something we were going to do, but just the drive and the support from our families that were coming in, we just knew that we had to do it, as soon as we could for them.
Well, I think it's remarkable. Tell us a little bit about your family's story, what your background is, and why these special need kids are so important to you.
Yeah, so I'm a speech language pathologist, and my husband is a physical education teacher, and we get asked all the time if we have a child with autism. And even though we don't have a child with autism, I always feel like I have several children with autism because I'm working with these children every day in my private practice, and it was just that, nonstop hearing families say to us, there's nothing for my child, you come into our home and everything's amazing when you're here, and then you leave and there's nothing else, for us, no other place for us to go to or to work on these skills that we're working on at home. And it just resonated with us, and we just really felt very passionately about doing this.
Well, and I had said to Dina earlier, and I really want to hear your opinion on this as a speech and language pathologist, that when my son was just little, one of the things that they recommended to us was that we get a swing that fits into the ceiling and hang him upside down and spin him, because we saw that he spoke more and that he was able to access language more when he was hung upside down and spun. And a lot of people, we certainly as parents, thought that was the most ridiculous thing we had ever heard. But it really seems like there is a connection between how we move our bodies and our ability to access speech centers. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it over and over again in my practice, and so that's what worked for your child. And then I've had other children where it's a matter of they're in a wheelchair all day, and we would get them out of the wheelchair and just even laying flat to open up their whole respiratory system and allow them that respiratory support then that they needed to produce a vocalization. I cannot even tell you how amazing the gym is, because the children are just growing so fast and developing their language skills so amazing in the gym because of that movement component that's incorporated into it. And research definitely shows that movement is something that drives the language development, and the gym is just an amazing place for that to happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, Dina, I know you run across this, that we have autism families and they'll say, well, I'm focusing on this. I'm not doing it because we want to get the speech, or I'm focusing on, we're only working on the cognitive stuff, and we forget how we're whole beings. And that we need, there've been all these new studies about crossing the midline.
Exactly.
Right.
And the biggest disservice you can do is stopping OT. It's stopping the movement, and because it's not going to happen. I mean, Gabriel, his first year of speech had to be on a Pilates ball with his speech pathologist. Thank God then, 7 years ago, she thought outside the box because she listened to Gabriel's OT therapist. We didn't have the gym then. We just had our gym in our house. But she was like, okay, I'll try it. Sure enough, they did more than half of their sessions on the Pilates ball, and she was bouncing them up and down. And all of a sudden,
the stuff comes out.
Yep.
It's amazing. So what a thrill that here you have this gym and you have this expertise, and that people are coming and getting the benefit of all of that. So tell us a little bit about how it feels for you to have this kind of an owner, Dina.
I have to first go back to when Jessica and Jeff, again, like I said, I'll start crying. When Jessica and Jeff, first wrote to us about why they wanted to do We Rock. Jessica, I don't know if you remember the novel that you wrote, but but she did, and it was just so heartwarming because, they volunteered. Okay, they volunteered to help the special needs kids. So not only was she a speech pathologist, but her husband, who was a physical education teacher, and he also teaches amazing yoga in the gym, and let alone they have two gorgeous girls, which are inspirations every day. But I was just so touched by them. They're like, this is what we need to do. Yeah. This is what we need to do. This is what feels right to us. And when they came on board with We Rock, they said that they wanted to possibly open up another location. I'm like, okay, let's just start with one. Okay. And then literally they were open up for 6 months. And what you see is what you get with them. Talk about a heart for, their passion is helping children. And you're probably hearing this now across, the show, but this is what these owners are about. But they, in particular, they built their gyms with their own two hands. They had friends and family volunteering. They didn't sleep for weeks building the second location. By the time I got there to assist them with their grand opening, they were like the walking zombies, God bless them. They were like crying because there I was, Mama D as they call me, and we had their grand opening and it was beautiful. But I just am, again, I'm blown away by the courage and the passion of these young people because they are young. Yes. They're a young growing family, and the sacrifices that they make for Shannon, for yours and our children. It's unbelievable.
It's inspirational. And I got to say, Jessica, you set the bar really high. I know last year you did an event at your gym, and we were kind of following in your footprints, and we're going to announce in just a little while that this year again, autism-live is partnering with We Rock the Spectrum and with My Brother Rocks the Spectrum and a couple of other organizations to do a Sensitive Santa event. And we had it all planned last year. We were going to do it, and you got there before us.
Oh, yeah.
And we got the pictures, Jessica, and I was like, oh my gosh, we got to live up to Buffalo's We Rock Sensitive Santa. Hello. You guys look like you had something out of a movie set. Making my life difficult, Jessica. But I know about you. When you do something, you do it right.
Well, let me tell you, that event is just that. I was speechless, and it was hard to hold back the tears during the entire event. It was so absolutely beautiful and amazing for all of the families that were able to come out and be a part of it. And it actually, I cannot even take any credit for it because there is a couple who approached me who got it up and running, and they said, hey, can we have this at your facility? I helped out, but I can't even tell you this family that puts their heart and soul into this event. And again, it is a team of volunteers and everyone who comes together and to raise money for it so that the families can be there for free. And it is just unbelievable. It just blows me away.
So I'm guessing you're going to do it again this year.
We are. It is all scheduled.
And so what day are you doing yours on?
It is Saturday, December 4th.
Okay. All right.
Which location, Jess?
It will be at the Derby location in the South Towns.
Okay. Well, we will look forward to getting the pictures. Ours is going to be the week before. And I'm going to try to pull out all the stops, Jessica, so that you have to live up to my picture this year. This is like competition. It's like gauntlet has been thrown down.
Yeah.
So there you have it. But we'll look forward to seeing your pictures, and if you send them to us, we'll share them on the show. If you send us some pictures, we'll. But truly wonderful. We're so excited to have the opportunity to hear your story and to hear about your gyms. And so you've got the 2 locations. Tell us again so the people who are in the New York area know where they are.
Tell them also that the Derby, what the Derby location is, Jess. She was my second gym to be regional training facility.
That's right. Yes.
So what does that mean for those of us who don't know? What's a regional training facility?
So it's interesting, people think when they come on board and we talk about we need these regional training facilities to support our owners. Well, Jess and Gail, they were my choices because they were doing this already. And being a regional training facility, of course, there's perks to that. We need your gym looking its best, and we're here to support you with what you need. Not all of my gym owners, hint, Jess, reach out when they need something. So I have to kind of, go with the gut feeling. Okay, you need help. They ran their gyms, for the first year, all with volunteers.
Wow.
Complete volunteers. And so does Gail. I just finally got her to get an employee, but I had to force Jessica to get an employee. I go, you can't do this any longer. You need help. And she literally said, you're right, I do. Actually, we just already hired somebody. I said, you see what happens? But I mean, they are, the people who are about the mission, as they all are, but how they stand out from the rest is really doing what they're already doing, and that is, giving that support to the other owners. Is really what it's about.
So if somebody decides to do a We Rock franchise and they get training, they're going to travel to either her gym or Gail's gym if they're on the East Coast.
Or Tarzana, yes, for the West Coast. That's exactly right.
Okay.
So she was the second, and her and her husband deserve it, and they're amazing. And then, of course, this was before they opened up their second location. So this wasn't, okay, you're going to become a regional training facility because you're opening up 2. No, I didn't even think they were going to do that yet. When they told me, I said, are you nuts? She's like, yes, but you know, because that's you, Mama D. But I mean,
I was just
truly,
going to say, Jessica, if Dina Kimmel is telling you need to slow down, that's something. Like, that's just crazy talk to me. That says a lot about you. That she's like, oh, wait a second.
Amazing.
That is amazing. Well, I'm impressed, and I think everybody should be impressed. We hope so. So there's one in Derby and one.
Yes, there's one in Derby, and then there's one in Williamsville.
Okay. So for those of you who are in the Buffalo area and you know what that means, we were just talking to upstate New York too about snow, and there's a large portion of the year where kids in that area can't get out. So definitely they should be checking out We Rock the Spectrum. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool. You go into her gyms and they have the mud rooms, which I didn't know about. I only know about because I go to Montana with my in-laws, but I walk in their gym, I'm like, what's this room? She goes, Dina, trust me, when you come to visit in the winter, you'll get it. And there's the coats and the boots and, everything that you guys, need to take off in this,
and
really
it's all
cold
covered with all kinds of things that you don't want tracked all over the place.
Exactly.
You need a room for the accoutrement.
Exactly. But they're amazing parents, first and foremost. And I really feel like that's also where it stems from. Their children are so beautiful, and they are like the little, We Rock girls of Buffalo, and it's awesome. And there they are, you see their 3-4-year-old doing yoga and with kids, on the spectrum, not on the spectrum, it doesn't matter, everyone together. It's so beautiful. Great. And I quit Diet Coke, just so you know, greatly because of this woman and her husband. Yes.
She came after you.
She came after me. Oh, yeah. They eat so healthy. But you know what, Jess? It's been 3.5 months and I've done it.
Right.
So, she would see me on, we do these support meetings. Yep, for our owners. And we live stream them in, and I film them from my corporate office. And she, in front of everybody, used to embarrass me, not anymore, and say, Dina, get rid of that Diet Coke. You told me you were going to stop drinking Diet Coke. But they bring in that health and nutrition as part of their gym also.
I love that. What a wonderful thing. Well, Jessica, we are so thrilled that we had the opportunity to meet with you. Please give my best to everybody there in Buffalo.
I will. Thank you.
And we'll look forward to being in competition with you for the Sensory Sam thing. It's on, girl. It's on. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye, Jess.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.